aka Eileen the Little Crafter. Additional information about this show, arts, custom, and everything in between, and my Little Crafter show, which is on YouTube, can be found on my website, EileenTheLittleCrafter.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is all about anime, and particularly what I am watching in the summer months. I know you're like, normally you tell us ahead of time, but this time around, it was kind of slim pickings here. It took me a while to find a list of anime to watch. So, anyways, also I would like to wish my cousins and my dad a happy birthday. Happy birthday! Their birthdays was the 8th, so happy birthday, my Leos, and anybody else who had a birthday this month. What else is going on? All right, so we have the Happy Crafter subscription box today on the blog. Tomorrow we will have this podcast up on the blog with all the links, so check that out on Friday. And we will also have on Monday my dear active unboxing. So yes, and I also want to say thank everybody who has been listening, especially to the podcast about my becoming a Dear Domino and all of my unboxings. You guys are awesome and amazing. Thank you so very much for that. Really greatly appreciate it. Alright, so let's get on with this anime. Alrighty guys, so alright, so I'm gonna, no particular order, I guess, on my list. This one is basically the English translation of it is Bed and Breakfast of the Spirits. Basically, Aoi could see the yokai, and her mother, I guess, had issues with that. It was just her and her mother, and then her mother just disappears one day and basically leaves her there to die. A spirit comes and helps her live. He gives her food, or you know what? It looks like a woman, but it has a male voice, so I'm gonna just say the spirit of the yokai basically saves her life. And then at that point, somehow her grandfather finds her and basically he raises her. One day he basically dies, so she is on her own. And one day she bumps into a yokai, but she doesn't really know what she gives him food because he's hungry. And then the next day, which her grandfather told her not to do, not to accept any gifts from a yokai because they can suck you into the yokai land or world, so their realm. So she gets sucked in, and she's told that she has to marry the lord of the bread and breakfast, who is a ogre, and he's not this typical ogre looking. If you watch the anime, it's a totally different looking ogre. He's more humanoid. He does have the horns and the fingernails and red eyes, but you know, anyways, it's just kind of weird. So he tells her this, and she has to marry him to pay off the debt that her grandfather left, and she's like, no, 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 no. So she finally opens up her own business and starts gaining the trust of each employee, and also the admiration of the ogre lord. And now at this point, they are somehow swept away to another part of the realm where they're in desperate need of trying to figure out how to defeat this curse. It happens every, like, what is it, 190 or 190 years, something like that. And you're learning about that, so that's where they're at. And this is, I think, the second season, and we're up to 19, and I will put a list of where it's at, like if it's on Funimation, Crunchyroll, all that good stuff, on my blog post, which will be up on Friday. Yeah, Friday. Definitely checking that one out. Alright, Angels of Death basically is a weird anime that a young girl wakes up before you see her attending some type of, what is that, counseling, and then the next thing you know, she's waking up in a strange place with amnesia, doesn't know what's going on, and people are at this point trying to kill her she makes a deal with one of the killers because he broke the rules of the killer building, and now he's a target as well. And yeah, so it's a really strange anime with a weird twist that if they get out, Zack can kill Rachel because Rachel wants to die for some strange reason. So, and that's why we're trying to figure that out as they're going through all these crazy things that is happening on each floor, with the floor masters have their own personalities, their own weird and twisted booby traps of the floors. It's really interesting and weird at the same time. And yeah, so it's called Angels of Death, and they're on episode 5. Phantom in the Twilight is basically about umbras. Basically, umbras are like storybook characters of, I don't know how to explain that. Like storybook characters that basically are, I don't want to say evil because these are not evil, but what you would consider evil or dark. And at one point, the main character's grandmother was a part of a group that believed that they needed to be vanquished, and she did, and she became a really famous Umbra hunter. But then she realized that something wasn't right, and she felt that Umbras and humans can live together, and she formed a group with these Umbras, and so they were her loyal, friends, her companions, and stuff like that. Now the granddaughter is in London, and she had no idea what was going on with her grandmother because they never really kept in touch with her. There was never any record of her, really, maybe just a photo and just kind of little bits and pieces. She never really, I guess, fit in with the family, because she moved and so from China. So now the young lady is here in London, and she has to pay for school on her own. Her parents wanted her to go to another school, but now, anyway, so they come into town, and all the strange stuff is happening, and she's finally learning about who she is and what her abilities are, with the Umbras at her side, who are her good friends. And yeah, you're learning more about her, you're learning more about the other organizations, and each Umbra has their own little episodes, so that you're learning about them as well. So it's really good. Lord of Vermilion, The Crimson King. This one is a really interesting anime. I'm still trying to get a grasp of it. It's only 4 episodes. Basically, it's 2 opposing sides. Something happened where there was a sound, and a lot of people went to sleep. One person went to sleep. The main person went to sleep for a very long time, and he is basically the Lord of Vermilion, I think he is. One group feels that Tokyo needs to be destroyed for a utopia, and the other one feels that Tokyo shouldn't be destroyed because that is a bad thing. So they're basically fighting what type of blood-equipped hero and anti-hero. It's a really weird premise, so I really like it so far. I think the more you get into it, the more you're getting to understand what's going on and how each group is being manipulated in their own way. And I think it's going to be a really interesting twist at the end. I have this funny feeling. So anyway, guys, so again, I will link everything, whether it's on Crunchyroll, Funimation, and that post will be on Friday. But my last interesting anime was on Hulu, and OMG, you guys, this one, I thought I was actually going to be canceling Hulu, but also Hulu has been giving us some good original content, which, as you know, if you guys haven't followed or started watching Castle Rock, you might want to start. I will be doing like my little take on Castle Rock. I think I'm gonna, and some other shows like what I've been watching during the summer months. So Devil's Line is a really interesting anime. It's basically about vampires living amongst humans, and And it's about these two people that meet in the middle of the night. And he's an officer who happens to be a devil, and she's the human who was a part of a case. And they meet up, during something that happened to her or was going to happen. And the next thing you know, they form a relationship and a lot is going on. I am hoping that there is a season 2 for this, but if you guys, the other important part of it is that you need to watch it from beginning to end, because each episode sometimes has a little something at the end. So definitely catch that, like if you have to fast forward the music to see whether or not if it has an ending, I would definitely highly do so. But the music isn't bad, it's a nice ending. So yeah, definitely check that out. This is, again, Devil's Line. It basically has a full episode subbed and dubbed on Hulu. And again, I will put the links down below for where it's at. And yeah, so that's my anime. What I was watching for the summer, what I'm continuing watching. And that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. If you guys have any comments or questions, why do I keep saying guys? I don't know why. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. Or you can always email me. My email address is eileen@eileenlittlecrafter.com. Thank you for listening, and have a great week, and bye for now. Catch you next time.